Today I'm going to show you how to create apple cider vinegar from scratch using only the scraps that you would otherwise throw away. I live on a homestead and every year I am blessed with so many wonderful apples, and I preserve them as apple sauce and different types of like dried apples, for example. But there's simply so many apples and so much scraps that I had to become creative of how to utilize all of that. So I started experimenting with apple cider vinegar, and to my surprise it was extremely easy to create and the result was amazing. So basically what you need to do is to preserve all the bits and pieces that you cut off and would not use in the apple sauce or whatever you're using your apples for. And then you just keep it in a container, and glass is definitely preferred. Now then you add water with a little bit of sugar in it, and it should be about 1 teaspoon of sugar per apple. Now since it is scraps, it's a little bit difficult to measure that, but you do it approximately. Now you want the water to go above the level of the apples, and to make sure that the apples are not surfacing and coming in contact with the air, which would then potentially trigger rotting. You need to put something on top of there where it's pushing the apples a little bit down so the water is higher than the apples, but at the same time allows for bubbles to come out. So it shouldn't be completely closed. Now, as you can see here, I've covered it with simply napkins. It could be a towel or whatever. You just need to be able to breathe, but then also you want to prevent any flies, etc. to get in there. You definitely don't want that. Now, after you've set it, and basically this is something that you're making by simply keeping it on your counter in the kitchen, and it just stays there in room temperature. But every day I stir it a little bit. I just simply put a spoon in there to get the most of these bubbles out of there. Because if I don't, the water level will actually flow over at times, and there's going to be an increase in volume as it's filled with bubbles. So every day I just open it up and push it down a little bit to get out the bubbles, and when it's done, there's not going to be any more bubbles coming up. And that takes, a few months. It depends a little bit on the temperature and how much sugar, etc. But you will see it very clearly when there's no more bubbles. Then it is time where you can actually sift away all the apple scraps, and you will be left with the fluid only. Now after this, I put the fluid on bottles or whatever you want to store it in, but I have allowed a period for it to still have a little bit of circulation and air, because it may still be a little bit cider-ish, and you want any form of alcohol or remnants of that to be able to evaporate and for the whole process to complete. So I've added the cork, but I've just done it loosely so that it's able to vent. And then at some point you taste it and you see that, oh boy, now it is the perfect apple cider vinegar. And then you put your cork on or the lid or whatever you have, and then you can store it wherever you want. I have like 20 liters of it now. I probably have for the next 20 years. But it lasts for ages, so it is just simply a great thing to have, and it is a very nice gift also to have your own homemade vinegar that you share with your friends and family. So I hope this was helpful and that you are inspired to test it out. You can test out a small batch, or you can do like me and just go all in and hope that it works. And the good thing is, the first time I tried, I'd never seen it before. I only just followed a recipe and it worked out perfectly. So that probably is the case for you as well. So best of luck. I hope to see you soon again, and take care.